You're listening to another episode of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is the place where we're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, sorry for the late start. We had a few technical difficulties, et cetera, et cetera. You know, just things happen. I'll blame Taylor. I blame Taylor for anything, though. I couldn't find my keys.
You do.
Yeah, I couldn't find my keys this morning. Darn that, Taylor. I tripped and stumbled over something in the dark.
Taylor's fault.
Yeah, Taylor's fault. You know, but that's all right. So today we have Marissa McKenzie of the SafePlace, which is something that probably most of y'all have seen, but may not have known what it's about. Well, I'm going to let her do the descriptions, but I know the first thing I thought when we talk about SafePlace was one over the QT over on Wilshire and Renfro. And then since I was alerted to what to look for, I've seen them in lots of other places now, particularly QTs. But I also saw them on the DART trains I was on last week. And so Marissa's going to explain all this to us. She's going to talk about what their organization does, what it's meant to do, how does one become part of it, as far as like how do you become one of these safe places, and what the responsibility of that is. And I'm sure it's quite significant. It isn't like, oh, I'll just put the sign up. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, I'd imagine.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay. And also how y'all can participate, either financially or if you're a business owner, maybe participate in other ways. And so while she's talking about that for a brief minute, I want to make sure we're all shared with the various things. So just give us about a minute introduction to what you're doing, and then we'll get into more fully after I talk about a couple of our sponsors.
Yeah, so the SafePlace signs that you said, they're all over QTs and other places, but SafePlace is a site for youth ages 10 to 17 to kind of go to if they're not feeling safe in their home, if they're not feeling safe at school, if they're having any type of crisis. We are alerted that they're there, and we can jump in and assess what needs they have and figure out where the best option for them to go is, whether that's a different place or stay.
In a way, when I looked up some of the background information, I envisioned it be something that, somebody that's in an unsafe situation. And I also envisioned not just teenagers, but maybe women in an unsafe situation. But also but for teenagers or maybe runaways or somebody that is trying to escape some pretty nasty situations. That's what I came away with from your organization. Yeah.
So it's mostly geared toward homeless youth or unaccompanied youth who don't have a parent. They're living on the streets. So if they go to a safe place, say, I need a safe place, then we will be dispatched out there to them, talk with them, see if, they need to go to our emergency youth shelter, or if they have other options like family members, friends, things like that. Or they might be suicidal. They're trying to figure out what their next move is to keep them safe.
I'm sure there's some pretty intense stories behind some of these episodes. But before we get too far into it, I do need to thank the sponsors for making these kind of shows possible and alerting the public around to what they really are. Because like I said, I bet anybody that's seen the yellow sign for SafePlace may have had an idea, but you're here to fill it all out for us and see what Burleson can do and whatnot. So anyway, thank you to Daniel over at CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Check out the webpage at CrossFitBurleson.com for memberships, training programs, times of operation, the whole 9 yards. CrossFit Burleson over 317 Southwest Wilshire. Thank you, Shandy. It's Stogsdale Realty Group, turning transactions into relationships. Living in Burleson's getting to be more and more expensive, guys. So if you want to move into this area, you better contact her now. Marissa's smiling like she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just Are you from Burleson?
I'm not. I'm from Arkansas, but I just moved from Burleson from San Antonio about a year ago.
That accounts for the San Antonio phone number you called me at.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But anyway, back to Shandy. Thank you for your sponsorship. And I know you really enjoy these kind of shows. I know she pushed it on her 817life.com page, which is very good about putting information out about this area. So thank you for that. Thank you, Rex Russell at the Russell Wealth Group over in Cleveland, the mayor of Eagan. You know where that is?
No, I don't.
Since you're not from this area, I mean, you'd have to be from this area to know where Eagan is. It's a point on a map reference, but he, has 28 people and he has them well under control, dadgummit. Russell Wealth Group at myfinancialbox.com. Hit the link. Find out a little bit about what his business is, what he can help you about your business, your retirement, your 401k, college savings plans, all the above. So talk to Rex have a little coffee, hit the link at myfinancialbox.com. Thank you to Optavia and Kimmy Etheridge. I'll be seeing you Wednesday. Optavia at 817-789-1622. She's got the health maintenance plan. If you're looking to lose weight, to maintain it off and maintain a healthy lifestyle, it has the diets, it has the coaching, it has the whole 9 yards. So talk to Kimmy and she'll get you on the path. 817-789-1622. Also, Gayla Moore's over at Southern Gym. On the top floor of the Windmill Building. She can help you with repairs, designs, cleanings, and inventory. And she's got it going on. And remember, Easter's coming. So if you want to buy some sort of gift for that special person for Easter, like your daughter or somebody like that, that'd be nice to do. And she can help you out with all that. And also Michelle Humphrey over at Hot Works, an infrared workout. I know a lot of people that work out, with iron weight and all this other stuff, and then they go to Hot Works to kind of do the yoga and also the stretching and whatnot, and an infrared system, and helps you lose weight, and then also it helps you with muscles and whatnot. So in terms of relaxation, so Hot Works over at John Jones behind the Kroger in the movie theater, as they say. So thank you for all these help that you put this on for. Anyway, now let's start from the beginning, I guess. Where is your organization headquartered?
So we are at 3712 Wichita Street in Fort Worth.
Okay, so you're a local organization.
Yes.
Okay. Do you do it outside of Texas so it's basically a Texas-based organization?
Yeah, so it's a Texas-based Fort Worth organization.
Mm-hmm.
They started ACH Child and Family Services came from in 1915. So they've been around a long time.
Okay.
It started as a home for children and has just grown into many different sources: crisis management, counseling for children, foster care and adoption, SafePlace program, plus they have residential services as well.
So just to be clear, ACH is in effect, the parent sponsored all these other groups, and SafePlace is one of the things they sponsor.
Yes, that's correct.
So when you're really dealing with SafePlace, you're dealing with an organization that has a lot of other things going on, but the core business or core organization, maybe is a better word, is ACH.
Yeah, so the great thing is with ACH hosting SafePlace is when they come in for a SafePlace, we have the backing of the organization behind us to be able to say, okay, well, we have some counseling services we can offer you. We have the youth emergency service that we can offer if they need it. That's just part of how ACH handles SafePlace.
The woman that kind of connected me to this program is a woman named Sherry Stepscott.
Okay.
And, she saw it, and I guess she thought that'd be a good topic for this show. Now,
well, thank you.
Yeah, but she also runs what are called blessing boxes here in the community.
Oh, okay. I've seen those.
Right. She says here, if you have any pamphlets, you can add them to the blessing boxes.
Okay, yeah, I have cards. They're not with me, but I can get them from the office. And I have SafePlace cards and ACH pamphlets and Real Help for Real Life with ACH, flyers and stuff like that I can get to her. Well,
she has a website, a Facebook page, Blessing Box of Burleson. But there's 5 locations.
Okay. And
the closest one to the QT there's one by the library in Burleson.
The library in Burleson is one of our sites.
Yes, is a SafePlace. So they have a blessing box there. They have one on East Renfro, Renfro One Stop out there. Gosh, I'm trying to remember the other ones. Well, she'll put them in there in the comments. But if you have anything like that, she's always real good about these kind of service-oriented type of situations, particularly because the people that use the blessing boxes in many cases may be runaway teens because that may be the only access to food they have. So, but anyway, so ACH runs these various programs, and you're connected to the SafePlace. How did you get connected to it? How did you get involved with it?
So I'm finishing up my degree in crisis management.
From where?
From Southern New Hampshire.
Okay, right. Okay.
So I'm finishing up my degree, and I saw that they were looking for a SafePlace coordinator. So I fit the bill, I guess. They gave me the job, so I'm stepping in. But I actually really love SafePlace. I've always seen the signs and always thought that it was a great, program that can help kids and help youth, which is what I love to do.
Sure.
I love to be there with kids and help get them out of crisis situations.
So to be specific, the SafePlace designated spots, describe what their responsibility is and describe what y'all do once y'all are brought into the situation.
So if you want to be a SafePlace site, then you'll just go through a 30-minute training with me. We'll sit down. We'll talk about, when a youth comes in, you will, they'll ask, is this a safe place? And you can say yes. And you ask for their name, how old they are, and really just kind of, if they want to give you any information about what they're going through, you can take it. And if not, you just want to call, you'll call the ACH number that we provide with you when you become a site, and you'll call and say, hey, I have a kid here for a safe place. You'll give them that information, and they will send someone out there.
How long has this safe place been in operation?
So SafePlace started in, I think, 1983 in Louisville, Kentucky, and they reached out to ACH in 1999, and ACH started running it for Tarrant County in 1999.
Okay, so your Tarrant County aspect of this has been going on 3 years already. Yeah. So besides the QT, where do you have any, off the top of your head anyway, other spots for safe places around this general area?
Yes. So the Crowley fire stations are also sites. The Burleson Library is a site. I think there's a YMCA here in Crowley.
Yes.
That is a site. I'm working to get more sites in Burleson per se, because a lot of our sites are Crowley and up, because Burleson is at the bottom of that Tarrant County. So if you are looking to become a site, it's not much. You just put your sign up, talk to me about it. We go through the training. Like I said, it's a 30-minute training. You just need to be willing to help kids and willing to put out the sign and be there for them.
Well, when I was talking about the show to people off the air, so to speak, general speaking, what we're going to be talking about, they, I think in their mind, had a vision. It was like a shelter almost. But really what you're saying is you're putting, this is a place where a runaway or a kid trying to escape trafficking or something like that can run to. And if somebody's looking for them, they're going to be protected.
Yeah, for sure. So we do have a shelter on our campus. It's our emergency youth shelter.
On Wichita Street, you mean?
On Wichita. And our Wichita shelter is a safe place location as well. So we do have that shelter there if they are homeless and do not have anywhere to go, and that is the best option for them. But obviously we want to seek what the best option for them is. So if they come and they say, hey, I'm leaving an abusive situation at home, but I have an aunt that lives on the other side of Fort Worth who's willing to let me come live with them. So then we will, contact that aunt and say, hey, can we bring this youth to you for safety?
So is it necessarily they're going to be put into like a foster home or some other temporary homeless shelter or abuse protection shelter?
With SafePlace, we will make a CPS report if it is something that is reportable, but we're not going to be putting them into the system or anything like that. We are focused on getting them to a safe spot for them to stay. If they are a victim of trafficking, that does involve us contacting the police.
Right. I was going to ask about that.
And working with them, making sure that they are aware of the situation, working with Fort Worth's Human Trafficking Task Force. But they still may end up at our shelter that night, to stay safe. And it just depends on every situation for every kid. We want to do the least restrictive possible and the best situation for them.
Well, my listeners know, you may not know, I'm a former school teacher, and as a public school teacher, we were obligated by law to report CPS if we saw any signs of abuse, even if it wasn't physical. It was like, if some student came up to me and says, I'm being abused in any number of ways, that's not something I could keep confidential. I had to call CPS. What is y'all operating under similar format? Do you not?
So we are all mandated reporters as well. So, if a kid comes in and says that they are being abused by mom and they need a safe place, I'm going to take them to a safe place, but I am going to make a CPS report as well.
And we've been reading a lot in the news about how overwhelmed CPS is. Has that been your experience?
Yes, and I can't really speak for CPS and how they run and stuff. It does seem there's just an overwhelming amount of children who need help right now.
Right, and it's been an issue in the state legislature about the lack of funding and the ability to reach all the children that need to be reached. And I just wondered if, you've seen that firsthand, because sometimes you read stuff in the paper and it didn't affect you, but when it's dealing every day, I can imagine, So I think also people that may be inclined to offer their business as a safe place think that they're the ones that they're going to have to do what you're doing.
Oh, no.
They're the ones that are going to have to provide, the CPS and contact the aunt or whatever.
So all we ask of the site is to have a safe location for the youth to wait at while we get there. We have a 45-minute time frame, and it's 24/7. So if they call at 2 a.m. From a QT, we have 45 minutes to get there.
You do? I mean,
yes,
you do this yourself?
Yes. So me and all of my responders, it is it's in our contract with National Safe Place that we have to be at a site within 45 minutes. So
what if this is a scenario I'm sure comes up every now and then? A young girl runs to a safe place and the business owner, the QT or whatever, provides that spot. 5 minutes later, here comes somebody looking for her and not willing to take no for an answer.
No, so QT is actually really awesome. QT partners with National Safe Place. So they're actually part of National Safe Place. So when a kid comes in to that QT is going to call their security office immediately and get their security office, get their cameras on, get, everything, the video, make sure that they're centered in and watching those cameras, and they're going to keep that youth safe. They're not letting that youth leave with anyone.
Well, QT sounds like a tremendous partner in all this.
Yes, they are.
Well, let's take the library here in Burleson.
Okay.
Young girl runs in there, says, this man's beating me or abusing me or whatever. 5 minutes later, here comes that man.
That would be a call. I would call 911.
Okay, that's
for sure. I've not had a situation like that.
It's possible though, isn't it?
It is possible. If we always tell our sites, if they ever feel like they are in danger, the person who comes in is in immediate danger, or if they're already hurt, bleeding, things like that, call 911. And the police will get out there, and and if the police get out there and assess the situation, there's never, it's never wrong to call 911 is how I feel. If you feel like you need to call, then call. And if the police feel like, okay, it's still safe for this person to go to a safe place, and they're still going to call us.
Well, that's kind of where I'm getting at, is that the responsibility of the safe place, as far as the provider is concerned, is to literally provide a space for a person. They're not under obligation to get into the CPS reporting. They're not under obligation to provide counseling of any kind. And if they do feel like that this is a pretty serious situation, then they are asked, to contact the police.
Yes.
As opposed to, just let somebody else handle it. But really the responsibility of the safe place provider is just that. Provide a safe place.
Yes. We ask for them to, if you have a drink and, a bottle of water or, something to snack on, if they're hungry, offer that to them. But really, we even encourage them, don't get into specifics with them about what's going on, because, that can weigh on people.
Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah. Really, one of the only requirements we really have is that you display the signs, you do the trainings, and that you don't have any employees who are registered sex offenders.
Well, okay, that makes sense. But it's I guess there's a lot of people I know personally that would be very touched and felt compelled or led to get involved in this. But I think they're just, I'm here and you're here to allay those concerns that your involvement is not going to be one that would require some sort of professional training or professional certificate or license of some sort. You're there just to be there, and you'll handle all the rest. And that's all. That's a good thing. How would one, let's say we have a business in town. I know of 2 or 3 people that I could see very easily being interested in this. How does one become a safe place?
So you can reach out on the achservices.org webpage.
What was that one more time?
achservices.org.
See, we have them repeat because, to wake up the audience, I don't know.
So you can reach out on there. If you go to find a program and find Safe Place, it's going to pull up the little email contact form. Or they can always send me an email at marissa.mckenzie@achservices.org.
Okay, and we can put that in the comments because I have that address. Taylor, do you have their logo? Did that come through? There it is. Okay. for youth, someone place to go, someone to help. I like that. And see, I'm like a lot of people. I've seen that sign, and I knew, okay, I get the idea. I thought it was, a place for lost kids or runaway kids. But you're talking about, let's say that you live near a safe place. Like the library's near a lot of residential areas, so it isn't. And something happening at the home, they can run across the street to the library, and that kind of thing.
But also there is the text SAFE to the number 4 help.
Mm-hmm.
And if you text SAFE to 4 help, it's going to ask you where your location is, and you're going to give it to them, and they're going to tell you the closest safe place.
Okay, text. What was it one more time, please?
The word SAFE, SAFE,
mm-hmm.
to the number 4
mm-hmm.
help.
And then you just text that and boom.
Yep.
Like, I want to just try right now.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm not very good at this technology. Is that? And Taylor will certainly suggested that. All right, SAFE. All right, 4. What is it?
It's help.
Help. Just help.
Yes.
Oops, spell it right, dum-dum. All right, there you go. SAFE, help, 4, and...
Well, no, the number
mm-hmm.
is 4, and then the HELP,
yes?
Whatever those numbers correspond to on the cell phone.
4 4 3 5 7.
Yes.
Okay, try it again then. 4 4 3 5 7.
Yes, and text the word SAFE.
Text. Okay, that's the part I missed out on. I meant that. Okay, now I'm not triggering any kind of response, am I?
No, it'll send you. It should send you a text message.
Mm-hmm. I said text 4 4 3 5 7. I texted the word SAFE,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not getting anything just yet. But then again, it takes time, I guess, with my phone.
Yeah. So you should get a message that says to reply with your location.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you put in your location, it'll send another message that'll show you where the closest.
Did I do it right?
Let me see.
Yeah.
4 4 3 5 7. Yes.
Well, it works except on my phone. Yeah.
I don't know. It should work.
Well, Taylor will tell you this area of Crowley, sometimes the internet isn't always what it's supposed to be. And so it kind of works. But anyway, they can dial that number if they need it.
And it'll tell them where the closest SafePlace site is that's open.
How would though a 15-year-old girl know that do that number and do that safe and all that other business? How do you get the word out?
So that's why, interviews like this are so important. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get into schools. I'm trying to talk to teachers, mm-hmm. Posting on Facebook, just letting the adults in the community know mm-hmm. also, so they can trickle it down to their students and to their, to the kids in their life. But also, we're hoping YMCAs are advertising mm-hmm. it. I go to community fairs to mm-hmm. try and talk to parents and, kids about this. I hand out flyers. Mm-hmm. The whole point is we need to get youth to know that this is a service that they can utilize. So
you also try to get in to, say, talk to, I don't know, Kiwanis Club, Lions Club. I could tell you the Lions Club would be very interested in this. I know mm-hmm. several of the Lions Club members, and they'd be very interested in something like this. They meet every other week here in Burleson. So they'd be interested in that, or church groups, or, mm-hmm. I could think of several groups top of my head, or youth sports organizations.
Yeah. So, especially like this week, because it's National Safe Place Week, my mm-hmm. goal this week has been trying to get in to talk to as many places as I can, to their kids, to their, their employees about it. Mm-hmm. So, getting to a sporting event at the YMCA, mm-hmm. being able to set up outside, and as the mm-hmm. kids and the parents come through, mm-hmm. Hey, here's a card, here's a Safe Place card.
You talk to kids, groups of kids very often?
Right now it's really hard with COVID getting into the schools.
I guess that's true.
So I have been trying to get in to talk to the schools, but that is a big part of Safe Place, is being able to get mm-hmm. in and talk with those kids.
Mm. Well, I know a couple of people after the show. I'll give you their names. I don't want to put them on the spot and on the air, but anyway, but I could tell you who to contact at BISD and whatnot, because they would be interested in this. Mm-hmm. I know for most of my teaching career was there, and I know for a fact that they push these kind of programs, awareness, abuse awareness, things like that, and they had speakers and programs like that to make them aware. Now, the thing is, and I'm thinking in my listener's head, in my own head, we're thinking of runaway girls, but you get plenty of young men as well, I imagine.
Yeah, we do. We really get a lot of 16, 17-year-old men and women. That is the big age range. So again, we do service 10 to 17-year-olds, but the majority is going to be that 15, 16, 17. They're the ones that, they might be at home and mom and dad are just like, you're 16, you're grown, get out.
Yeah.
Things like that. You don't need to be in my house anymore. Go make it on your own.
Yeah.
Those are, some of the situations that we deal with, and it's really sad to know that happens, but that's why SafePlace is so important. So then we have places for those kids.
Okay, I'm going to do the second round of sponsors. I want to ask you about, besides this Burleson area, you probably have several other large companies like QT and others that are safe places, and maybe where you'd like to set up, and about the financial end of it as well, because ACH is a nonprofit, is it not?
Yes, ACH is a nonprofit.
And also, what are the processes if somebody is interested enough to do this? Because I could think of like 2 or 3 people that have a real heart for this kind of activity. But anyway, let's thank our second round sponsors. First of all, Otto at Our Place. You've been to Our Place before?
I haven't, but my daughter really likes it.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, you go to Our Place. Otto will set you right up. He's a good man. He's the maitre d', the owner, and the entertainment, and all the above. So, and Our Place is a very community oriented place. You got to talk to Otto just about all this, because he's got a heart for this kind of business. He's a very generous man. But Otto also has the best food in town, too. So there you go. So that's your assignment. Go to
Okay. I'll tell my husband tonight we have to go eat.
Well, it's a breakfast and lunch. They close at 3. And I bet you said your husband's in the military, is that right?
He was, yeah.
He was. No, he probably likes some chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
That's,
he does.
That's what they get. Also, thank you to Chris over at Wild Cigar and Culture. Is your husband a cigar smoker?
He is not.
Well, are you?
No.
Okay.
No,
well, anyway,
not.
it's a cigar bar. It has a great big humidor and has really nice drinks and class outfit. And I asked Chris anything special going on, and it says they have a grand opening party on April 1st. They've been open for a little while now, but they're going to have like a big celebration here. Grand opening April 1st, which is a week from Friday. And it's sponsored by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and Matilda Cigars. It says there are going to be deals on cigars, swag, live music, and food. And I've been there a couple times, 3-4 times actually. And it's a nice place. It's a place you can take your mother. Okay, so Wild Cigar and Culture. Thank you to Antonio at Point of Sales Operations at Proactive Payment Solutions. He can help you with the getting your POS system set up. It can get you the best rates. It can get you what you need to have, particularly if you have something that's mobile or a pop-up business. Proactive Payment Solutions can help you get the right program set up. Also, thank you to Payne over at Beagles Technology. And he can help you make your home a smart home. He can help you with integrating all your systems into one, help you migrate data from one system to another. He can help you with drone photography. He's got drone videographic capabilities. So if you're a contractor or a insurance adjuster or things of that nature that you need some aerial footage, you can provide that. 817-944-3572 or beaglestech.com. And Tiffany Griffin over at locallifetx.com. That's worth looking at advertising. Okay. She goes to 30,000 homes in this area. And if you're looking to expand your reach into Burleson, like we'll talk about it more in a minute, but at the beginning of the show, you're talking about how you want to go further south than where we are now in terms of number of safe places and all, and services. I can definitely recommend Local Life magazine. It comes out once a week, goes out to 30,000 homes and 110,000 people. It's probably one of the best local advertising systems you got in this whole area of the state. And then Burleson Radio. This is something me and my buddy put together. Live 365. What kind of music do you like?
Oh, I have such a broad range.
Well, then this is the station for you because it goes pretty wide. In fact, we sometimes are a little too broad. But anyway, Live 365, your voice, your station, Burleson Radio. Okay, now, somebody hears this show or they access your information some other way. and they want their business to provide a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
What is the optimal business for that? I mean, I'm thinking a 10 to 5 or 9 to 5 kind of operation has its place, but do most of these things happen late at night or
No.
so there's no rush hour, so to speak, no time of day in which it's the heaviest. It's all 24 hours a day going on.
Yeah, so we, with being the Safe Place coordinator, I am on call from Monday through Friday, 12 to 5. And I do get phone calls, during that time, but we also have phone calls. It really doesn't seem like there's a perfect time of day. They come sometimes, in the mornings. They come sometimes in the evenings. We had 2 this past weekend, which is, actually we had 2 in one day, which was kind of abnormal for us on Saturday. But it just kind of, and one of them was at like 5 o'clock and one was at 3 in the morning.
Well, is there an optimal business though, or business that could provide a safe place? Retail, or restaurants or whatnot?
Yeah. So if they're kid friendly, somewhere that maybe, kids tend to frequent. So gas stations, movie theaters, we have Alley Cats is a safe place location.
And they're coming here.
Yeah.
You've heard that already, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
So, different things that, are kid friendly that they would.
Pizza joints.
Yeah. That they would tend to walk into somewhere that's not going to be kind of, off-putting for the kid to walk into.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want any bars to be safe place programs.
Well, Wild Cigar would be fine. This isn't. You shouldn't think of them as a bar. It's an establishment.
Yeah, the establishments that are 21 and over that a child is going to have a hard time accessing are the ones that are, little.
I'm just
tricky.
I'm just defending my sponsor because I know him and I know his heart, and he would be interested. But you're right.
Yeah.
That would be kind of tough.
And and a kid is not gonna see that, know if they're even allowed to go in there to get that safe place.
So like a $high restaurant may not be so good, but what, like a fast food joint? Okay.
So we don't have any in Tarrant County that are fast food, but I do know that like McDonald's and Burger King in certain places throughout the United States are safe place programs.
Like for the franchise owners, do it on their own.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A maybe. They'd be really good for that.
They would. Honestly, anyone who is open to letting that kid come in there who has the adequate time, if it's someone who, your business is constantly going, and you think your employees are going to feel put off from having to, stop doing what they're doing and take care of this kid, then
you have to have not just the owners buy in, but all the employees buy in.
You want to make sure that it's not something that's going to put your employees more onto their plate when they're, busy, because it could happen at any time.
How about grocery stores?
I think grocery stores would be a good option too. Yeah.
Because everybody, even if the kids don't go buy their own groceries, they know where they are.
Yeah. We don't have any grocery stores right now that are part of our sites.
Well, is this part of your job, or is it somebody else's job to try to get people to join up?
It's my job.
Okay.
Everything Safe Place, everything involves Safe Place is me.
Okay.
So right now I have 246 sites in Tarrant County. And we have to stay within Tarrant County, but I know Burleson, there's a lot of it that falls into Tarrant County,
right.
Like the library, all the QTs fall into it. But so on top of the 246 sites, all of the T-buses in Fort Worth are also mobile sites.
Right.
And then so it's fire stations, libraries, YMCAs, Boys and Girls Club. We have you been to Fat Daddy's in
I know where it is.
in Mansfield?
Oh, I drive by it. Yeah.
So that's one of our sites. Hot Rods in Mansfield is one of our sites. There's someone who, they were really interested in it and they wanted to become a site. So we do have a few little, individually owned places that are sites. We just ask if you're not 24/7 to display a sign on your window that says what to do if you're closed.
What about, you mentioned something that you're talking about all these Tarrant County. Are you not allowed to come into the Burleson or Johnson County area?
So it kind of...
Because that QT's in Johnson County, I think.
So
But I don't
I think all QTs in
Okay.
a corporate are SafePlace. It kind of just depends on how far out they are, because remember, we have 45 minutes to get there.
Right. Maybe something like in Itasca or well, I guess that's Hill County, but it doesn't matter. Or maybe something way down south in a small town to be tough, like
Yeah.
Covington or some small town here in Johnson County. But Burleson is right on the edge, same with
Yes.
Crowley. And so I just wondered if you, I know you had this 45-minute
I think
deadline, but
it has to do with funding also in some aspects. I'm not 100%. I think it's going to go a case by case basis.
so it's not really some sort of legal impediment. It's more of you right now you need more staff and funding to make this work. Okay, because I didn't know maybe if by law or some
No.
other statute that you had to limit yourself to Tarrant County. Because I know we need this in Burleson. But Burleson's growing tremendously fast.
Yes.
I've had many people on the show talk about that, and we're going to have the side effects of that growth, and one of them is these unfortunate situations.
Well, and also we work really closely with law enforcement, especially Fort Worth PD. They're awesome. But if you are somewhere that you're not, say you're in Johnson County and, and you need to get to a safe place and there's not one close to you, a lot of times if you call that non-emergency number and ask them to transport you to a safe place location, they will. I mean, it's up to the officer. It's up to, it's kind of just whoever you get at the time. But they are usually open to transporting for us.
Well, I know several of the Burleson police, in some cases, as their former teacher, or maybe their spouse was, as a student of mine. And I'm very impressed with the quality of Burleson PD. I can promise you they would be all on board with this. They'd be have no problems. And as far as the city council and the mayor, same thing. I'm going to have the mayor on next week. I'll bring it up to his attention. Tomorrow I have a city council member on, and I'll bring it up to her attention. And I know just the type of people they are. They would endorse this in Burleson 100%. So maybe we can make that connection. Get y'all two connected, and you can talk about that or go to a city council meeting sometime and describe what you're doing. Because I know that there would be very much in favor of having that expanded into Burleson. I don't know if, like I said, it's a matter of funding, it's a matter of personnel and all this other stuff, but there's a need here, and there's a need here, and there is a good reception here for it. That's one of the better things about living in Burleson. Now, you've lived here just about a year, right?
Yes.
So,
but I have family that's been here for
oh, really? Okay.
Quite a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not a complete stranger to this area at all. That's good. Okay. How do you like it here?
I love Burleson.
Do you really?
Yes, better than San Antonio.
Really?
So,
I always liked San Antonio, but I guess I'm just as a tourist, or something like that. But I don't have to live there. But no, I've lived in Burleson since '91, and that's been one of the common themes of Burleson is they have a lot of groups. And I'm fortunate to hear in this podcast to talk to these nonprofits. I got one next Monday, in fact, for autism. And I'm very fortunate. And I never seen, it just seems like there's so many groups out there that are willing to do these kind of things.
And we always like to pair with other nonprofits around to see what services they offer also, because if we get a kid that, our services aren't the right fit for them, then we have a list of resources of other places that might be, the right fit. We pair with Jonathan's Place and Promise House up in Dallas County. So we, usually get a lot of kids from there. Or also the Unbound from One Safe Place on Hemp Hill in Fort Worth. They are a shelter. They're a 24-hour shelter. You can stay for up to 24 hours.
Okay, Ms. Scott here says just knowing the locations will be helpful in order to direct the appropriate location. Besides just a webpage, in Burleson, besides the QT, besides the library, most of them are still in that area of town. If you wanted to go further west, I suppose, there's several businesses that I think would be interested in that.
Okay.
Because what I like to see happen personally is that this become pretty standard and understood by the Burleson community. People like me, I see the sign, I kind of know what's going on now. I know a whole lot more what's going on.
A lot of people think we take babies.
Well,
we're the ones for babies.
Well, I've seen that too. And I thought also it might be a place also for abused women trying to escape a situation. Now, if a 25-year-old woman comes into a safe place, they're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're too old, so back out in the street you go." That's not going to happen.
No.
But you're not set up for it as easily.
No,
as,
and if they call us, we will probably give them whatever site that is, the information that they would need, like some resources for some different shelters around the area that do take adults. But yeah, we're not set up to take adults.
But an abused woman or abused man, if that is the case, goes into a safe place. The people there know what to do and who to call, and they'll be trained for that kind of response. Even if they're not calling you specifically, they already have been maybe accustomed to dealing with that.
Yeah, so I would hope that they would have the foresight to say, well, ACH can't take an adult, but here are some other resources that are listed. There's the Presbyterian Night Shelter. There's several other shelters throughout Fort Worth that they could go to, and that they could give that information to them for them to call. But as far as SafePlace, they're only going to be able to, access SafePlace and call us if they're 10 to 17.
There's a couple of places I also know that have been on my show more than once. That would be a good possibility. The Next Step Women's Center I've had on several times, and they are in effect their own kind of safe place for young girls and older women. They're having issues with their pregnancies and whatnot, and that might be a good place to talk to. I've had them on many times, and I know them pretty well by now, and they're wonderful people. So that there's the field is there for it. It's, one last thing about the financing. How could they, if somebody says, "Well, I'm not in a position to make my own safe place, but I want to help this out," what can they do?
So if they want to help out SafePlace specifically, they can email me at marissa.mckenzie@achservices.org, and I can get them set up with our finance department on how to make a donation. If they just want to donate toward ACH, there's on our website on achservices.org, they can go to ways to help, and there's a donation and a give drop down, or they can reach out to me as well.
Do y'all get any government funding?
We do. We do.
So you have to go through the grant process and all that. And, and so that's, I know that's a beating, but it's got to be done. Is the state of Texas pretty helpful?
Yeah. I'm not sure how much the state of Texas plays into SafePlace. I'm not.
That's not your end of the deal.
Yeah, that's not. I say I take care of all things SafePlace, but I don't take care of the money.
Well, that's at least one less thing, because you're actually on at ground zero where it's happening. So
yes. So financing and things like that. I have a budget, and they tell me this is what you can do with it. So.
Well, that's great. I mean, so I've gotten to learn a lot more. Hopefully, the listeners will. Now, this is on YouTube, like we talked about before, and it'll be on the podcast very soon. And so hopefully you'll get some response. But just between you and me and the vast listening audience, I think there's some places that will be receptive to your message, and you might want to pursue that as best you can. I know you have limited budget and personnel, and you can't go all the way to like Rio Vista or something like that, but maybe one day.
Yeah, and we do go all the way up to Hazlitt, I think, and we go all the way out to Grand. Is it
not Granbury?
Not Granbury.
Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So we need to have it here.
Yes.
Because, when my last few years at Burleson High School, I saw not like a just tidal wave of this happen, but an increase every year. It seemed like of disrupted and destroyed families, and the kids are left with no alternatives practically, or whatever else, or a lot of kids are sleeping on their friend's couch because they had nowhere else to go and things like that. And so, and that existed when I first started teaching in 1988. It wasn't like Burleson didn't have that, but as we've grown and changed, you see it more and more.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that you can bring your services down south. Well, I'm going to run through the sponsors real quick, and then you'll have the last word to tell us everything you want us to remember from the show. You can handle that. Thank you, Daniel at CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Thank you for the sponsorship, as always. Thank you for just your faithfulness to this community. Same with Shandy. Thank you for your faithfulness to to the community at the Stocksdale Group, turning transactions and relationships. So thank you for all what you do for us, Shandy. Thank you, Rex, over in Cleburne, the Russell Wealth Group, myfinancialbox.com. Hope you're doing well. I know he and I are both in a little bit of a state of mourning because both the men's and women's Baylor basketball teams lost this weekend. So, Taylor was very nice about it. He says, because of our grief, he's going to, only charge us half for this month. And
Whatever you say.
yeah, I just seen if you're there with us. Whatever, old man. Anyway, thank you, Russell Wealth Group, myfinancialbox.com. Thank you to Optavia and Kimmy Etheridge. Hope you're doing well. See you on Wednesday at our networking meeting, 817-789-1622, weight loss, weight maintenance, lifestyle plans. Also another BNI meeting member. Southern Gym, Gail Moore's, help you clean, help you design, help you repair, and help you buy all the jewelry you'll ever need. It's right there in one place. It's a great place. She's very sweet too. And also speaking of sweet and enthusiastic, we have Hot Works, Michelle Humphrey. Infrared and sauna workout. It can help you with, they have like bike and they have, yoga, and they have isometrics. They got all this stuff, and it's all done with an infrared system to help you accelerate your workout and your in the positive impact of it. Thank you to Otto, Our Place. Hope you're doing well. I'll be seeing you Thursday. Actually, I'll be seeing you Thursday for our bi-weekly Sunday school men's breakfast, and it's always great and it's always welcoming. So Our Place Restaurant. And thank you to Chris and his grand opening coming up at the Wild Cigar and Culture April 1st. You'll enjoy it. Cigar and a little decent drink. I know he's got the basketball tournament on. Not that I have the same interest as I did as of Saturday, but there you are. Are you a basketball fan?
I'm not.
I am, and my Bears didn't make it, and I'm very sad. And it doesn't. Okay, I understand that there are more important things in life. I just have to remind myself of that. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. And thank you to Antonio over at proactivepaymentsolutions.com. He can help you with your point of sales operations. If you're, a great opportunity to contact Antonio if you're going to be doing the farmers market, which comes up in a couple of weeks, and you can have a cash-free system going on, and he can help you with that. proactivepaymentsolutions.com. Also, paying Beagles over the Beagles Technology Solutions, make your home a smart home, migrate your data from one place to another safely. Also, video technologies, video areography. I got to get the word down. Areography. There you go. And so if you're interested in any of those things, making your home a smart home, putting it all on your phone, 817-944-3572 or beaglestech.com. Also, Tiffany Griffin. Right now, she's working on the next month's magazine. Comes out first week of April. But right now, you can check out locallifetx.com and check out all the stuff that goes on in this town, the discounts, the deals, the coupons, whatnot. But her magazine is really nice because that comes in a nice fold-out area. And lastly, Burleson Radio, Live 365, your voice, your station, playing some of your favorite oldies and newies right now. Is that a word, newies? I don't know. So tell us everything you'd like us to know as kind of like your parting thoughts.
So if you are interested in becoming a SafePlace site, then you can email me at marissa.mckenzie@achservices.org. I just want people to remember that the text for help is going to be text the word SAFE to 44357. And it should work. I don't know why it didn't work on yours. Oh, darn. I just didn't get this quite in time, Gail. I'm sorry. It's a ring in spring. It's Mother's Day sales, stuff like that. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got it just now. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. It's okay.
Commerce,
Yeah. And the other thing is, another way to help is if you are hosting an event or a fair, anything out in the community where you have members coming and going through, and you want us to come set up a booth, you can also email me.
That reminds me.
Yes.
I mentioned just a couple of minutes, Burleson Farmers Market. He was on last Thursday, and he's very receptive to these things as well.
Okay.
So I'll give you the contact information. There's a process, people just don't show up, but he's receptive to these kind of things.
Okay.
So
yeah, so we are trying our hardest to get out there to all the events that we can, get the information out to people. If you have an audience that you think that I can come and talk to and give them the SafePlace information, let me know. If you're interested in volunteering and helping me with SafePlace site checks, we do volunteer games that we organize, and you can run out and do the SafePlace site checks while you play a game of Goose Chase.
Well, after the show, I'll give you a couple of contact numbers to discuss that kind of thing with them, off the air, so to speak. But I really appreciate you being out here, and I really appreciate what you do. I mean, it's a noble effort what y'all are doing, and a lot of people have probably been very blessed by your activities and your services, and we're very grateful as a community.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you having me come out here and talk about it and get that word out, because that's what it's all about.
Thank you to Sherry Estep Scott for kind of putting that bug in my ear about it.
You.
Tomorrow we have Victoria Johnson, and we're going to be talking about civic matters and bond issues. And then I'm going to be unavailable on Thursday, so we're going to do a show on Friday, and I'll know what I'm doing on Friday when it gets there. So I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.